Hello everybody. We're still busy solving equations. In our previous lesson, we saw that factorising is a very handy tool to solve equations because we saw that if I have a product of factors like a times b equal to 0 on the right hand side, then I can solve this equation because one of these factors must be 0. So either the a must be 0 or the b must be 0, or both of them can be 0. So, and we use this fact when we have an expression that has more than one term on the one side to factorize it and write it as a product of factors equal to 0. So what is important? You always want 0 on the right hand side, because then it is very easy to solve. So let's look at examples. Today we are going to look at quadratic expressions. Can you remember about what quadratic expressions are? There are second degree expressions that's written in descending powers of x. In this case, x squared, x to the power of 1, x to the power of 0. Right. And because it's quadratic, I can factorize it. And we also do it here, the way that we've been doing it. We look at the first term and we say factors of x squared, that will give me x squared is x times x. And I look at the last term, factors of plus 2. If I multiply, I must get plus 2, but if I add, I must get negative 3. So 2 only has 2 factors because it's a prime number. It has 1 and 2 as factors. I can't use plus because a plus and a plus will never give me a minus. So they must both be negative. Negative 1 times negative 2 will give me plus 2, which is what I want there. And then that means that will be minus x. This will be minus 2x, and if I add negative x and negative 2x, I get negative 3x, which is what I want. So my brackets are x minus 1, is my first bracket, and x minus 2 is my second bracket. So if I multiply x minus 1 with x minus 2, I'm going to get my quadratic expression, and that product must be equal to 0. So now basically my equation is solved, because it means for this to be true, either this bracket must be 0 or that bracket must be 0. So how do I write it? I say therefore x minus 1 must be 0, or x minus 2 must be 0. And then to make this 0, it means x must be 1, or x must be 2. Equation solved. There's my solution. A quadratic expression will always have 2 solutions. Right. So let's look at another example. If I have, say, 3x squared minus 9x equal to 12. So can you see here? I've got 3 terms here, but one of the terms is on that side. I don't want this. I want 0 on the right hand side, because then I can factorize, and then I can say the product of factors must be 0. So we're just going to take the 12 to that side. We use inverse operations, so it means I'm going to subtract 12 on both sides. I'm just going to rewrite this, and I'm going to get 3x squared minus 9x minus 12 must be 12 minus 12 will then be 0. And the 0 is what I want on the right hand side. So if I look at my 3 terms, do you notice something about them? You can simplify this, and we always have to do that first. Guys, there's a highest common factor. So I'm first going to take that out, which is 3, can go into 9 and to 12. So I'm going to divide each term by 3, and I'm going to get x squared. 9x divided by 3 is 3x, minus 12 divided by 3 is 4. So I've actually have factors now, but it's not completely simplified. Here I have a quadratic expression now. So now I can factorize the quadratic expression. So let's do that here. And I'm going to get factors of x squared, and I'm going to look at factors of -4. If I multiply, it must give me -4, and if I add, it must give me -3. 2 times 2 is not going to work, because 2 and 2 is never going to give you 3. But if I look at 1 and 4, the difference between 1 and 4 will be 3. So which one must be negative? Because if I multiply, I must get a negative. And if I add, I must also get a negative answer, which means that my biggest factor must be negative. Look, if I say -4 plus 1, I'm going to get -3. And if I multiply -4 with 1, I'm going to get -4, which is what I want. So here is my brackets. I'm going to get x plus 1 and x minus 4. So let's rewrite this. So here I have 3 times x plus 1 times x minus 4 must be 0. So people, just look at this. 3 is a constant. It's a factor. You increase with a factor of 3, or if you divide, you will decrease with a factor of 3. So it does not impact the solution of the equation. So I'm only going to look, I've got 3 factors here. 3 cannot be 0, but 3 times 0 will give you 0. So my reasoning is still sound. It means that this bracket must be 0 or that one. So I can say, therefore, that x plus 1 must be 0, or that x minus 4 must be 0. Which means the solutions are what will make x plus 1 0 if x is -1, or what will make x minus 4 0 if x is 4. And that solves the equation. Right. Good. So, your work for today is the exercise in worksheet 4. So go and see if you understand it. Thank you for watching.